Fabia. And we're going to talk, and Rick Sposen, and we're going to talk about their truck. This is a F450 extended cab, 156-inch module Liberty. Let's tell a little bit about what you guys do, what kind of area you cover.
So we're located just outside of New York City, on the eastern coast of New Jersey. We service mostly suburban population with suburban mixed in. We cover many municipalities, somewhere around 45 or so. We end up with the water. We're full service EMS agency, BLS, ALS, full training center. We're CAS accredited. Proud of that, super proud of that. And we respond to about 25,000 calls a year, give or take. And we've been slowly converting our fleet over to Braun. This will be our fourth truck, and number 5 through 8 are coming probably in about a month or so. We're super thrilled with Braun truck itself. We're going to give you a little bit of an overview of what we designed into the truck.
So we'll start taking a look at the truck. First thing we're going to do is kind of show you that we've got the extended cab F450. We're going to go on the inside, look at the console on the inside of this truck. When you look on the inside of this truck, you will see their console layout. Within their console layout, you'll see the Vista screen. You'll see the FRC intercom. And the Vista screen's up on a pedestal mount. What did you guys do that for?
Yeah, so it's actually really interesting. In our first iteration of the truck, we flat mounted the Vista screen onto the console, and then we all of a sudden discovered there were some glare issues. So truck number 2 and every truck since then, we actually went back and retrofitted truck 1. So this way we can move it around. You're not getting the glare problems with that. Additionally, the intercom is not something
turns even too. That's awesome.
The intercom is not something we started with either, but we had some feedback from our crews that they felt that the pass-through wasn't quite enough to get the message across all the time. So we went back and retrofitted all of our existing trucks as well with the intercom system so that the crews can have good communication, and it's passive for the driver. So it's really not something the driver's entangled with. It's the rear they're able to listen. They got to push the button here.
Excellent. You'll also see this truck is outfitted with liquid spring suspension. So you can see here right by the driver's steering wheel here, you can see the liquid spring suspension controls. How do you guys like the liquid spring suspensions?
Liquid spring has been a game changer for us, an absolute game changer. The fact that it's constantly compensating as you're turning, as you're stopping, as you're getting out, moving patients in and out, it's lowering and going up. I've been in the industry a long time, and I remember the air systems that were never working right. All of a sudden, liquid spring comes along, and I was hesitant at first, totally, but I rode in a truck with it, and I couldn't believe the ride. It was really nice. So we incorporated it. We haven't had an issue since going live with it. You'll see that we did get the extended cab here. Our crews, while we're mostly station-based, do have times where they're in the vehicle, and we wanted some comfort for the crews, quite frankly. We do have a number of students here and there, so it's a little bit nicer. It's not the new guy in the back, stuck in the back, and you can't talk to anybody who's facing out the back for 12 hours. You're able to have somebody up here, and quite frankly, our crews can keep their stuff, so their purses, backpacks are secure. You're not having something loose in the back. You're not having projectiles created when you have an accident. One of the other things that we did with the truck is we did go with the V3 chassis. We did the 450. We wanted to do well over that. New York metro region, we get a good amount of snowfall. Our headquarters is at the base of what are called the Palisades Cliffs. So we need to get up said cliffs when we go to jobs, and the diesel makes all the difference in the world getting heavy. Prior to the Braun trucks, except for 2 of our older trucks in the system, we're running gas fleet. And idle time just catches up with them. Don't have the power to get up and over the hill. I mean, these are real hits. So we're super thrilled with the 4-wheel drive, with the diesel, and the increased capacity of the truck. So,
if you guys look up on top of the cab, you'll see they got the light bar. You guys always use the light bar? Did you go with this as something new, or do you guys just always use the light bar with the lights as well?
So we added the light bar. We thought that while the lights are super bright, I mean, listen, today's LEDs are crazy compared to what we grew up with. But adding the light bar, and it gave us one really good feature that we didn't have, is it gives us scene light. So we went with I forget the term, but I think it's duo light or duo tone. We can hit one button and turn that entire light bar completely clear. and light up the scene in front of us. And that combined with our scene lights on the side and the back, we can put a nice perimeter light around the vehicle.
Sounds like a great safety item for you guys.
Totally.
Yeah. So as you can see, we're going to come over and we're going to start checking out the module as well. So this module is a Liberty module. It's a 156-inch module. You can see we have a 20-amp shoreline. We have a 30-amp shoreline. 20-amp shoreline is going to do all your guys' charging in there for your outlets, things like that. Your 30-amp is going to be for your hose line FT454 air conditioner that we'll see later inside the unit. Basically what we can do with this, we can set it in the shop. We can plug this in. We can keep the temperature what we want, so that way when we get in the truck, we got it at the temperature we want when we're going on the road.
Totally.
Yep.
We'll talk about that when we get inside.
In OSS number 1, we're going to look at OSS number 1 here. You guys see this is the oxygen compartment. You know what else you guys may store in here and why you may have chose this layout?
So we chose this layout for our BLS. We have two essential models with Braun. This is our BLS model where we keep our oxygen up front. In our ALS model, we actually switch OSS 1 and street side 3 with medical board as well. So we have just some of our larger, we keep our stair chair in here, and some other haphazard equipment.
Okay, going on to OSS number 2. OSS number 2, you can see in here we house our banner inverter. This is our 110 12 volt air conditioning. And then we also have an adjustable shelf in here. Great storage for you guys.
Huge amount of storage. So all of our trucks, while this unit is typically assigned to our BLS crews, all of our trucks are triple certified. So they can run ALS, they can run BLS, and they can run SCTU. So because of that, the equipment needs of all the different service lines really changes a lot. So we have to have lots of storage when we do. We also have a killer amount of storage.
Yeah, we're going to move on to OSS number 3 now and kind of show you the storage inside of here. Inside of here, you're going to see 2 adjustable shelves. They can adjust these at any height that they may need to store the equipment that is necessary in this compartment. Looks like a lot of storage, nice lighting in here as well. So,
yeah.
Do you know maybe what you store in this?
Yeah, so we keep our Lucas in this compartment. We keep some of our all of our trucks are equipped with ballistic protection and all that stuff, which is big and bulky, and our ballistic helmets and whatnot for our rescue transport operations. So we've got to find a lot of room for that kind of stuff. So.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So going on to the back of the truck, we're going to come around to the back of the truck. You guys can see some of the nice chevron work that's on the back of this truck. You'll also see that we have our door grabbers, our Everhard handles. We also have our backup cameras. So on the front, when he was talking about we got that Vista on that tilt screen, that's where they're going to see when they're backing up. Everything behind them, they can see at all times when they're backing up. Then you also have your flip-up step bumper, easy to load patients in and out at any time. So nice look at the back of the unit. Anything that you want to add to the back of the unit here? The dock bumper.
You save a lot of repairs. So, good thing to have there.
Absolutely.
So we'll go ahead and go on to OSS number 4. You get into OSS number 4, you're going to see that we have a fixed divider in here that we're going to have backboards on one side, and we're going to have some storage over here.
Yep.
What else might you store over here?
So we keep the other essentials for the backboards. We keep our collars and other soft supplies. We carry water on the trucks all the time, so if we need rehab, things like that. So.
And as you guys can see, these are adjustable, so you can adjust these at any height level that they may want, so they can store whatever they may need in there. It gives them adequate storage inside of here. Next thing is the Easy Glide sliding door. So, as we said yesterday on the TLC, this is something we've been doing for about 19, 20 years. It's tried and true. I would like to ask you, what's your feelings on the sliding door? What's your crew's feelings on the sliding door?
So I love the sliding door. We're not opening the door into cars. We're not opening the door into traffic. You're not opening the door and it gets away from you and the wind hits it. It's awesome. I have zero complaints about it. We've had zero issues with it. Obviously, you guys have been doing it for 19 years, like you said. It has served us phenomenally.
So in OSS number 5, what you're going to see up here in the ALS BLS stack up front, this is inside-outside access for the crew inside of the vehicle. These are adjustable shelves, so you guys can move these to whatever you'd like to store anything in here. What do you guys store typically on these shelves in here?
So this is where our primary bag goes, defibrillators, things like that. So we also have our suction units. We built storage 110 and 12 volts charging into this compartment as well. So this compartment and the other above it, so the working compartments are really the backbone to a normal day. One of the things we do, and we can talk a little bit more about it when we get inside, but we utilize a bin system. So our crews can get in the back of the truck, look across the back of the truck and see that our bins are sealed, they're dated for expiration, and they're sealed up and ready to go. I can do a 30-second sweep of my truck and know that I'm fully stocked. At the end of my tour, I have an open bin. I need to grab a 4x4. I bring that bin in and I swap the entire bin out. And our supervisors go back and refill and reseal those bins with new updated expirations. So it's not like they're counting 4x4s or OB kits. So it helps us from the standpoint where we're not stockpiling and hoarding supplies. We're able to control our supplies, but it doesn't impact patient care or access at all. So it's 2 seconds. It's a flimsy plastic. You open up and take what you need. So these two compartments, this one's sort of our working compartment where we have some loose supplies. They can grab a 4x4, they can grab an ice pack, things like that. It works out really, really well.
It sounds like a great system.
It's great. It's super efficient.
So what we're going to do is we're going to step inside the vehicle. So we'll show you the inside of this vehicle and we'll talk about the inside layout, okay?
Hey, how we doing? Oh, sorry.
So I think the first thing we'll start with on the inside of the vehicle here is going to be the street side wall. So as you can see up here, this truck is equipped with restocking frames. So we can get in here. As he said, they have a bin system. Very easy to probably pull all the bin systems out and get those changed over.
Totally, yeah. The stocking makes all the difference. When our first version of the truck, we built the stocking into everything except one of the compartments, and I was like, that was an oversight. So we went back and fixed that, and then we updated it a little bit. We haven't changed our design much from our first ambulance, with the exception of the work area here. We did make it a little bit bigger and move the suction down below, but that was just to accommodate some more room.
You'll see we got some space back here. This is an inside access only cabinet in here as well. You know what kind of items we keep in this cabinet here?
All soft supplies. So
okay.
This is all soft supply stuff in here.
We got our change notice 10 squeeze latch here, so that does comply. But we also have an adjustable shelf here, right here by the CPR seat, so they can get to all their stuff that they need to here. You also have your secondary action area up here with a plug-in as well. So if you have equipment in here you need to plug in, you can. Yeah. Do you guys keep anything up here that you know of that's on the secondary action?
So we don't keep anything on the that's not secured out in the truck. So everything in our trucks, whenever we're moving, is secured within a cabinet or lockdown or strap. So that they're literally just work areas from when we are working. In our ALS, in our CTU truck, we have LifePack 12 mounts on both sides in that area, but in this area here. But in our BLS truck, we just have an open area.
Excellent. So I'm just going to take a seat here so I can kind of show you guys this. So this is our action area up here. As you see in the action area, we have our oxygens right here. You can see that we have the FRC research intercom that goes to the front one. It is recessed into the wall. That's a really great feature. I do like that you guys recessed that into the wall. You have your Vista screen here where you control everything on the inside of this truck. Easy to use right here from the airway seat. You can get to everything that you need. You got your 125 volt outlet. You have your suction control for your suction that's indented down here below the action area. Easy to get to for everybody in here. You have your oxygen bypass. This is your window to get to your valves for your oxygen. And then you have your hose line, AC, and heat controls right here. What did you change about this? I've heard you saying you've changed some things, and how do they like the layout?
So in our first iteration, this cabinet was a little bit more narrow, and our suction was up in the work area. And we found that the cabinet itself, it wasn't useful. It was too small, and there was a shelf in there on top of it, so it just didn't work out. So we brought this cabinet down, and we moved the suction down below. And I actually prefer the suction down below because it's completely out of the way, and you're not thinking about it that way. So it was a nice change for us.
I also don't want to miss the dual USB here. So there is a dual USB here. People can charge their phones, iPads if you're using one, something like that. So that's something good for the crew here as well.
And that's something we miss in the front. We do have 110 and 12 volt charging for the crews in the front. And we do also mount computers in the vehicle, so that hasn't come yet. But we do that after we get it back from you guys.
So you see we have an EBS attendant seat here. Inside of this attendant seat, we do have the child safety seat as well. So when we pull this down, you can put your child safety seat in, buckle them in on this as well. Going up front, what you're going to see, this is the FT454 110 12 volt heat AC system. This heat AC system is very well built and works pretty well for you guys. How do you guys feel about this system?
Absolute game changer. The number one complaint, bar none, I think, of EMS providers is it's hot in the back of the truck. It's hot in the back of the truck. You are not hot in the back of the truck with this unit. The unit throws out an exceptional amount of air. It's got a ton of cooling capacity. It's not taxing the engine as much because you're using a secondary condenser and secondary fans. The other huge feature for us from a strict maintenance standpoint is, and we talked about this on the outside, the 110 12-volt plug. So we're running that second plug for the 30-amp charger that runs this HVAC system, which keeps the back of the truck cool and the engine off. So 95-degree, 100% humidity day, we're able to plug the truck in and have it perfectly comfortable back here, ready to go, keeping all of our meds maintained, all of our equipment maintained in temperature, and taking the stress off the engine, letting that idle time go away. Idle time kills trucks, even the diesels. You know, it doesn't like to idle. They tell you every hour of idle is 100 miles. We have a very aggressive preventive maintenance program in our shop. We're running a 3-week interval on our preventive maintenance, and as we get more of these trucks into the system, we'll probably be able to hold that maintenance interval a little bit longer and save some money on the PM cost because we're not running the engines as much. We're able to shut down the pump.
As you can see, we put this down just to kind of show you how easy it is to maintenance this screen in here, right? They can always clean that out on their PMs and their checks. So really easy to get to that filter. So that's why I just wanted to put that down and show you guys how easy that was to get to. Inside here over on the left, this is just going to be your PDQ compartment. So that's power distribution quarters. That's where all your power is going and everything's going to be. So on a maintenance side, you know, hopefully we ain't in there, but if we are, it's pretty easy to work on for any kind of service technicians that may need to get in there. Below that, let's try to get out of the way so Jeff can show you. Below that, we have a radio cabinet. Do you guys keep anything down in the radio cabinet?
No, so we used to use mobile gateways on our trucks, but we've switched over to a new system where we're just using the computer. And our onboard vehicle radios are all remote out Motorola's. We're on a super fancy, crazy expensive system that, you know, they might mount them in there, I'm not even sure. Okay. But we only have one mobile radio on the truck, so it's a tri-band, it does everything in the world. So it works out quite well.
Excellent. As you can see behind Paul here, we have another compartment up here that's changed to this 10 squeeze latch. If you want to open that and kind of show them how that works, Paul. You know what you may store up in that cabinet?
So those are soft supplies, working supplies, stuff I need every day. You know, stuff that I replace on a job. I can go grab it out of there real quick.
Okay. You can see down below we have the section here for the BLS ALS stack that we talked about on the outside a little bit. This is just your inside access, so you can get to all the equipment that he was talking about that you can get to on the outside. So I just wanted to show you that. As you can see right here above the curb door, you're going to have your 3 glove box holder. So you can take 3 size glove box, your most common. You can put them up there so the crews can grab them at any time that they may need. As we go over to the curb side of the unit, you can see the squad bench area here. You can see we have the back pads with the V4 harnesses. It's a double-click V4 harness, EBS. You can see the squad bench. Any reasons why you guys go with the squad bench? What do you like about the squad bench over, let's say, a slide track or maybe just some seats there?
So in the BLS version, sometimes we'll end up with multiple walking window. We need to bring the hospital, so there's a little bit more capacity in the back of the truck. Our ALS and our SUT version of the vehicle, we do have a single seat with a working station there. But for the BLS unit, we want a little extra capacity if we need it.
Perfect. Yeah, and I want to show you guys underneath here as well. You have some additional storage here. You got your wheel well here, but you have an additional storage here. You can get to your sharps and waste rather easy as well. If you're working from this bench, when we shut it down, you can just flip this up and throw everything in where you need to throw it. You can also see, as he said, in case we have another patient that needs to be on here, we have dual patient transport. So we can put a backboard on here with another patient along with the one here, and we can strap them in, and they can do another patient if need be. You can also see the IV hangers up above the squad bench, and you can see all the lighting that we have in here, man. It's a lot of lighting in here. It gets really bright. Everybody can see everything that they're doing while they're working in the back of this ambulance. I would like to go to the back of the truck now. If you look above, you've got the Franklin digital clock. You also have the patient monitor, the patient camera monitor. So I'm going to ask you why you use that. I know why some others use it, but what do you like about the patient?
So that again came from feedback from our employees. The same concerns that were present about the not being able to communicate well, which is why we added the intercom system. We also went into the patient monitoring conversation, and they don't record. It's just there. It's a straight feed to the Vista screen in the front, but it gives eyes and ears. So the driver can look down and say, okay, everything's okay, or get a better sense. It's just an added safety feature, and quite frankly, one was requested by our staff.
Okay, so I want to look at the floor here. So I know that you may have seen this in the video, but I want to show everybody this is equipped with a Striker power load. They have the power cots as well. Well, you just got the power load here. How's that been for your crews? Do they love this item?
So yeah, they do love it. And I'll do a little mea culpa here. In the first couple of trucks I designed, I went and put the performance load in. because when I got to Englewood, the feedback I got was power loads were breaking here and there, and it turns out, seriously, right? So they missed them. So we not only put them in this truck and the next 4 that we're getting, we're retrofitting our previous trucks actually this year. We're going to be removing those performance loads and putting the power loads in the first couple runs that we got as well. Listen, this is a game changer, and I get it. I wish this was around when I started, and we didn't have those Furno 2-mans, doing those horrible lifts in the middle of winter, right? But it's here now, so let's use the tools and keep our cruisers safe and happy as they can be.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, we went through the truck. We would love for you guys to come over and check this truck out. We're in booth 1101 here at Braun Ambulances at EMS Today. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Paul. I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about your experience. How's your experience with First Priority been with Paul and First Priority as a whole, as our dealer in New Jersey?
Yeah, so First Priority's been a really good partner. I've known Paul for going on 20 years. I don't know when we bought our first truck. It was probably maybe 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
About 3 years ago. And very helpful along the way. Ken and his team out there, and Alex now, who's the CEO, super supportive of the health system, super supportive of our needs. We've bought other vehicles from them, conversion vehicles and SUVs and things like that. So their service team, they have an on-site service guy who is just top-notch. I mean, he could fix anything. Great guy, really nice guy. Kurt comes out and, it's like, oh, here comes Kurt, we're going to be okay, everything's going to get fixed.
What about your dealings with Braun?
So,
and the ambulance itself?
Yeah, so the ambulance itself, I love it. I think it's a super great truck. I think it's super well built. I had the opportunity, and I knew a lot about the trucks and the reputation procedure for sure. But my opinion of the company really was bolstered when we did our first factory inspection. Walking through the factory, seeing the workers, seeing multi-generational families working in the factory. And I've said this to Chad and Jared. Some of the things that you're doing are super forward-thinking. The fact that you guys are involved in Six Sigma and performance improvement, and having everybody on the line empowered to stop the line. And, things that you might not necessarily see from a smaller family company, but so worth it. So worth it, and really just makes all the difference. Everybody in that factory would stop and give me all the time I needed if I had a question about something. And true pride in their workmanship, their craftsmanship, and some of the ideals of the company itself. We're talking to people, and you have the early shift, and I said, well, 4 o'clock in the morning, that's pretty early. And the answer I got was, well, we really want people to be home when their kids get out of school. And I was like, phew. Like, wow, that's awesome. It's a nice feeling. It's coming from New Jersey. Sometimes we lose somebody. You get out into real America, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. This is great. But the product is just beyond reproach.
We appreciate that. So we also want to thank you guys for being in the family. Thank you, First Priority. You guys do a great job.
Thanks.
And thank you as well. We do love having Englewood in the family. So once again, please come by, check out this great unit. It's a beautiful truck. I would really encourage you to stop by booth 1101 and talk with us about this truck. Paul will be here, I'll be here. I believe Rich will be here for the rest of the day. So come on out and see us. And we thank you guys very much for letting us use this beautiful unit in our booth.
Happy to have you. Honored to have you.